Woohoo! And we are
Hey!
live. Woohoo! Look at this. A lucky leprechaun just a
Hey!
leprechaun went live. And is that river dance I hear in the background?
It's a bit of river dance. It's got to be done.
So
On
this
the
is
streets of Dublin.
yeah, on the streets of Dublin. So this is being brought to you one day early for St. Patrick's Day. So if you're watching today, you're going to get some tips and tricks about St. Patrick's Day from an Irish perspective. And the reason we came up with this topic was because we have a resident Irishman who can come in here and just bring the luck of the Irish with us. So I'm gonna go ahead and hide our banner so we can see who this leprechaun really is. So Stephen Quinn, thank you for coming on the show.
Hey, Gillian.
And we're missing the co-host today. Janet is driving up to see the Green River in Chicago for St. Patrick's Day. So she's on the road battling through storms and stuff. So she couldn't be with us today, but I think she's going to pop in the comments or something if she can. So anyway, so St. Patrick's Day is tomorrow, and it's always a fun holiday. So before we actually start talking about St. Patrick's Day, Stephen, just very quickly, tell everybody who you are and what you do and where you're from, so we know you really are Irish.
Okay, this isn't a fake accent. I'm really here in Dublin, in Ireland. This isn't a pretend thing. So I am Stephen. I run a digital marketing agency in Dublin, in Ireland, in Dublin. And I work with a lot of people on generating leads through digital marketing and LinkedIn. And I can actually show you the Irish Sea from here as well, do you know?
Ooh, that's awesome. That's
I
awesome.
can
I love
do
that.
that live. Here we are, real Irishman. The day before, you got to get prepared for St. Patrick's Day. It's the business. And I even have a pint of the black stuff here with me. Woohoo!
Woohoo! Now, why do you call it the black stuff? Because I think in America it's in a green, because we have to use everything green in America. So in America, I think it's in a green tin. So is it dark beer? Like, is there different types of Guinness?
No, well, there are actually, but like generally the standard pint of Guinness, it's stout. It's a kind of, if you haven't drunk it before, it's a real shame because you need to drink it. It's also food as well. Some people say so. It
I
is
put it in
actually
beer
you
in
can,
chili.
but you get put in jail if you do that here in Ireland. It's against laws of nature if you do that. The reason it's called the black stuff is because it's black. That's it. There's no mystery behind it. It's
Okay, that's
a
cool.
nice creamy head, and it's made now in lots of different countries, but in Ireland it's made in a place called St. James's Gate, which is in Dublin city centre, and it's the guy who set up Guinness was a chap called Arthur Guinness, and it's going back to 1759, and I know that because it's written on the can here, but I didn't know that. So he took out. He was a really clever guy. He was an entrepreneur back in the day, actually, and he took out I think it was a 999-year lease on the premises that Guinness is made in Dublin and it's one of the big things that makes up Guinness is the water, the quality of water. So he strategically figured his factory to take advantage of the best water. So, and then obviously back in 1759, people were using barges and horses and carts, etc. So distribution would have been a thing. But actually, and I didn't mean to talk about this, there were hundreds of people making stout, which is what Guinness is back in those days. But he got into branding, and he was fortuitous, and people liked his drink. And stout wouldn't have been it was a kind of working man's drink back in those days. So, and here we are. Nobody's really heard any of the other stout makers in the world. So, and the Guinness family are still living on.
Cornered the market.
Big time. Go Team Guinness.
So yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I love it. So I'm going to go out and buy some Guinness because we're going to be celebrating St. Patrick's Day tomorrow. And I'll tell you later what we do for St. Patrick's Day. So that's kind of cool. I love it. I love it. So I'm going to pop up a few. Well, first of all, we got some comments. So let's go to the comments. So we've got, okay, Adam, happy St. Patrick's Day Eve from the New York City area. Woohoo!
Happy St. Patrick's Day, Adam. Woohoo!
I have to tell you that, like, the New Yorkers, I think it's like the New Yorkers and the Bostonians. I'm going to just say people from New York, people from Boston, and people from Chicago. They're like the triangle of Irish. Like, that's where all the parades are and all the big stuff happens. And I think the largest parade used to be in New York City, but I don't know, with COVID, I don't know if we're doing any parades. I think parades are done. That's like a thing of the past. So that's kind of cool. So if we happen to be drinking some Irish beer today, some green beer, we're not telling. We're not telling.
I'm going to crack open here.
Yes, because it's 5 o'clock somewhere, and it's 5 o'clock where you are. So that's perfect. That's perfect. So thank you, Adam. Thank you. Okay, so we've got Mr. Jeff Young. Rock and roll. It's LinkedIn Live with Gillian and Stephen. See, just like, he's so awesome. We just love Jeff. Network and make all sorts of terrific energy. The LinkedIn guru. All right, that's great.
Love it, Jeff.
Okay, so we got Janet. She's on the road. I told you she was literally driving. So she did tell me she pulled over. So she's not LinkedIn Live texting while she's driving on the roads in the United States. So she took a little stop off so that she could send in a comment. So thank you, Janet. That's great. That's great.
Janet, hope you're not drinking and driving.
That's right. And then, okay, so you have to read this one.
Bigosh and Bigara. Love those specs, Stephen, from the great Jeff Young. Bigosh, Bigara.
We love it. We love it. That's great. That's great. So I did have a couple of, let's see if we can figure out our facts versus fiction. And okay, the first thing is we call it St. Patrick's Day because of St. Patrick. It's like,
we do.
And it's so funny because it's like one time somebody said to me, there's a real St. Patrick? And I said, well, there was. There was not. He's kind of a guy from the past. But this is, I think, the number one thing that I think people Google, because I am the Google goddess, so I do know these things. So this is the number one. St. Patrick. Was St. Patrick born in Ireland? Fact or fiction? Do you know?
I do. It's fiction. He wasn't. He was born in Wales, across the way, which I can kind of nearly see from where I am here on a clear day. So
John Asperian land.
John Asperian land, exactly. So John Asperian sent St. Patrick over to Ireland because we had a snake problem, and there was, I don't know what you guys call them over there, but like dino rod, or the kind of people you call when you've got problems in your house. So he was like a modern day dino rod.
The great exterminator. And it's funny because I think he was actually like, I think when I Googled it, he was like kidnapped. It was just like he was kidnapped and brought to Ireland. And I think it was like, Wales wasn't even Wales then. I think it was part of like the Roman Empire, because this is like a long time ago. But I think he kind of came to bring Christianity and, all that sort of stuff over to Ireland. So it was very interesting. So yes, we'll talk about the snakes in a minute. Okay, Shamrock. This is one thing that I heard. Americans, we should not screw this up. Actually, anybody else in the world who's not Irish should not mess this up. Shamrock, is it a 4-leaf clover? Because the shamrock is actually the symbol of your country, correct?
Three.
So a 4-leaf clover, that's like I don't know. Have you ever actually seen a four-leaf clover? Do they exist?
I don't know. I think they're from mythology.
They're kind of
I
like one in a million. Like if you ever found one, it's like go buy a lottery ticket or come to Vegas. Come to Vegas and Gillian will take you to the casino. Actually, I went to the casino this weekend for the first time since I got back to Vegas. Very bizarre with all the plexiglass and the COVID stuff. And I won. I won on the
no
slot
way.
machine. Yes. And you know what I did? I left. I took my money and I left.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
So
so cool.
it was pretty cool. So I digress. So Shamrock is actually a 3-leaf clover, right?
It is.
Not the 4-leaf clover. And this is what I Googled, that it had something to do with like the Holy Trinity, because it had something to do with St. Patrick and the Holy Trinity and all that kind of stuff. So I thought that was kind of cool. So I thought that was cool.
Indeed.
Okay. So I got another one for us. I got another. Oh, we did that one. Okay,
You
here we
know
go. Tell us about the snakes. Ralph Birnbaum, I hope you're here, because he was the one that was asking about the snakes.
Ralph, we need to hear it for the snakes. The poor old snakes. What do they ever do on St. Patrick? I tell you, bring back the snakes. That's what I say.
So do you really, really not have snakes there? Truly?
We do, but they only exist in Dublin Zoo. There's no snakes here at all.
So you can go hiking and you're never gonna hear that and it's a rattler.
No.
Wow.
Unless somebody has kind of brought a snake in from overseas, we don't have snakes. I'm sure there's maybe a couple of those little teeny weeny snakes somewhere, kind of big worms, effectively. But
big worms.
We don't have rattlesnakes and poisonous kind of Sammy the Snake slithering around and walking down the road.
and it's interesting because I actually Googled this too, because I just wanted to know, because actually I hate snakes. I remember when I saw that first Indiana Jones movie where he like falls in the sort of pyramid thing or the tomb and there's all those snakes, and it was just like, like I have a huge fear of snakes. And when I heard that Ireland didn't have snakes, I went, I have to go there. This would be like the perfect place for me and my fear of snakes. But I actually heard that it's actually more about the Ice Age, that like Ireland, because it's completely surrounded by water. That's one of the reasons why there's no snakes. Although we can say St. Patrick did it, so I think we can. That's cool.
Kudos for it, for definite.
Okay, here's this one. Was it originally an Irish religious holiday? Because St. Patrick is a saint. I don't know if he actually ever got canonized. I think there's a thing about like patron saints, and I don't know enough about the Catholic religion or Christianity.
I don't either.
We're good with that. But I did read that there because it has religious origins. Now I think it's just like a secular holiday everywhere. But I had read because it has religious origins, there was a time when you actually couldn't drink on St. Patrick's Day in Ireland. Do you know about that?
I don't know about that. I tell you, if I was going in those days, that wouldn't have happened. But it was you see, the thing is that there was paganism back then. People used to, in a nice way, kind of be mesmerized by, the sun and, the moon and energy and wind and, probably better stuff. I won't get into
religion. We won't do the religion thing, but things that were kind of mystical and magical.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's a nice thing.
Yeah. So how does that fit in with leprechauns? Because like leprechauns, like I don't even know if leprechauns have anything to do with St. Patrick's Day. I think we just like fling them on, our decorations because they're cute and wonderful. And, like, wouldn't we all like to have that kind of luck? But like leprechauns and the pot of gold, I don't even know, where does that even come from? Is that like something developed in Ireland, or is that something the rest of the world has like attributed to you guys? Do you know anything about
that? Honestly, right. Okay. At the moment, there's a couple of leprechauns walking down the street, but we can't see them. Okay. So Between me and you, it was the Irish Tourist Board who came up with this as a marketing ploy, so we could invite people in.
Because we're going to come looking. We're going to come looking for that pot of gold, right?
Exactly. Darby O'Gill in the house.
So I have to ask you, Stephen, if you did find a pot of gold, what would you do with it? Like, what would, like, if you found a great big pot of gold, what would you do with it?
I'd invent leprechauns.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, so here's my next fact or fiction.
Okay.
Corned beef and cabbage. Okay, in America, this is like when they sell corned beef all year round, nobody's buying corned beef. And then about a week or two before St. Patrick's Day, it's everywhere. It's in every grocery store. In America, we have something called Costco, which is like this uber super, big box store of stuff.
Yeah.
And of course, we're all going to sit down tomorrow and have our corned beef and cabbage. Do you guys eat that over there in Ireland?
No.
I heard it's completely, here's what I Googled and found out. It's a tradition in New York. I think it started in New York, and it was because of the Jewish population, because Jewish people love corned beef. And I think the Irish people went, that's a good thing to eat. It goes with the green beer. So I heard it has nothing to do. So tell me then, in reality, what will you eat tomorrow? What's a traditional Irish meal on St. Patrick's Day?
Okay.
Or do you even have one?
I don't really. I'll have bagels and cream cheese. No, I'm only joking. But yeah, maybe an Irish stew would be nice tomorrow. I do actually like Irish stew. Genuinely, I don't think I've ever eaten corned beef. It sounds like something that my mother might have forced me to eat when I was sick that I probably didn't eat again. Cabbage isn't so bad in a stir fry, in a
right.
A Thai or a Chinese type of stir fry. But an Irish stew is always good. You can't beat a good old Irish stew. But
so then what's in Irish stew? Just because we cannot assume anything, because Americans might make it totally different.
Okay, well, you generally you'd have meat in it, so you'd either have beef or lamb. So it's not really a vegetarian vegan meal.
Right.
You would have nice gravy, onions, maybe celery as well, carrots, and you can really put anything into it. It's obviously a dish that would have been invented when maybe Irish immigrants didn't have much money, and they were trying to feed themselves as in the most nutritious way they could. So I suppose a modern day stew would have all of those ingredients, but pretty much anything goes. Really, for me, the best part of an Irish stew is mashed potato with lots of butter in it.
That sounds good.
That sounds good. Mashed potato.
And what about Irish soda bread? Is that a real thing?
No.
Okay. I love it, because we just have so many things that we've kind of stolen from your culture. Yes. And I guess it was stolen by Irish people that, probably came to America, because I think I'm sorry, I've blown my history, but it's I remember waves of Irish immigrants coming to America. And I'm sure that I'm sure that immigrants got here, just like my family got here. Yeah. I'm like the first generation, and I wasn't even born in America. I was born in Canada, so I'm not even a first generation American. But I would imagine that when the Irish immigrants got here, then you longed for home. That's only natural. Absolutely. So you long for your traditions, and then the next thing you know, somebody's going, well, that sounds kind of good. I'll sell that bread. Call it Irish soda bread.
I'm not saying that there isn't Irish soda bread, but it's
not necessarily a traditional.
No, it's not in the daily kind of list. I tell you, one person who probably knows the answer to that, Lois Cliff probably knows the answer to that. Lady Lois, because she's big into bacon bread. I know that.
Okay, and her jams.
Absolutely.
So she's She's always got some good. I liked her whole article on jams, so that was a good one. That was a good one. Okay, so then last question: fact or fiction? In Ireland, you go around dyeing all the rivers green.
We don't need to, Gillian, because in Ireland the rivers are already green, right? If you go 50 miles around Ireland, all the water is green all year round. So it is. We actually dye it blue tomorrow, just to keep it the rest of everybody.
That sounds good. And
But
actually, I mentioned,
on the
yeah.
rivers, the Chicago River is incredible. I mean, genuinely, that is such a cool looking thing. The way, and
Bizarre, isn't it?
it's amazing. I mean, I don't know how they do it, but it seems to be for around a 24-hour period, and it's the river, not the lake.
Right.
I think they were originally going to do the lake, but they figured, God,
That's a lot of dye.
That's a lot of water to dye. So, but it's phenomenal. It really is.
Yeah, and I think it's food coloring, so it's not like
Really?
it's making, the river toxic or something. And I think when I Googled that one, because I wanted to know, where did that even come from? Because, I'm so curious. And I think it was like started in the 60s, and I think it's like the plumbers or it was like somebody, they were tracing things and using the dye, and then they just went, well, this would be kind of cool for St. Patrick's Day. So they just, put the, and I think this year they had to kind of be very tricky, because I think people like to come and see it happen, because all of a sudden it would probably be very cool to watch it all of a sudden become green. So they said this year, no, we're not going to do it. We're not going to do it. And then they snuck and did it because they didn't want the crowds to come out. So,
that makes sense.
Kind of makes sense. So
it's incredible,
cool.
though. My cousin, I only have about 7 first cousins, and one of my cousins lives in Chicago, so he's there a long time. So, hello.
Well, we got some more comments, so let me hop over to the comments. Okay, so let's see. Okay, what do we got? We got here, Adam, we're preparing shepherd's pie, colcannon and boxty, all washed down with a good pint of Guinness. I can't read that word. Can you read that word?
Sláinte to both of you. It means good health. That's what we say. So it's what people in Ireland say for cheers.
Nice.
So there you go. Sláinte or sláinte, depending on what part of Ireland you're from.
Very nice. And do you know what colcannon and boxty is?
Yeah. It's the ingredients can differ, but it's a stew. It's effectively a stew and potato. It's gorgeous, and it sounds like Adam's family are in for a big treat. The only suggestion I'd make to Adam is make sure to have a couple more pints of Guinness along with that. Just don't stick at the one.
Just get a pitcher of Guinness. Okay, so we got another comment from Janet. I have been to Ireland. Everything is green because of so much rain. Every picture that you post, Stephen, always looks so beautiful there. Always looks so beautiful. So it's on my bucket list to come.
Absolutely.
Janet, Irish soda bread needs a slab of Kerrygold butter.
Love it. Oh.
Now, do you have that butter in Ireland?
Yeah, big time. Yeah, that's class butter. That's the real stuff. None of your kind of roll back, health conscious stuff. This is the real deal.
Real deal. Slab it on, double layer.
Melt it in the microwave and drink it.
That's great.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And it's interesting. I actually found an article that I'm not gonna show it on the screen or anything, but I'm gonna put it in the links. And it was an article about how to market for St. Patrick's Day. And I thought that was kind of interesting. And they kind of give you ideas that it's like, here, and they actually have like an infographic of this is how people celebrate. And most of them they want to wear green. It's like, I remember as a kid, you'd go to school and it's like, you better wear green or somebody's going to pinch you. I don't even know where that comes from. That was always so crazy. But the article went through like different things to do with, your marketing and how to, maybe give people some like lucky things and discounts and stuff like that. But the thing that I really, really liked about this article is at the very end, it said, be respectful of the Irish, and it's their holiday. So so if you want to celebrate somebody's holiday, they said be respectful. They said make sure that you don't make any negative references, you make positive references, and that you do things like know the difference between the shamrock and the four-leaf clover. They were saying be sensitive to the people whose holiday it was. And I thought that was a really nice way to end their article, that it's like, it's great to celebrate, because I guess you could say, do we even have the right to celebrate your holiday?
Listen, because Gillian, everybody's Irish, really, definitely for the day, and I what people don't people do realize there's a huge Irish diaspora around the world. I think in the United States, it may be as much as 20% have, a decent claim to Irish roots. And I mean, I think is the population in the US about what, 400 million people. So, that's a fair element of people. In the United Kingdom, our friends and neighbours across the way, it's definitely 25% of all the people, and the 60 million people have at least one Irish grandparent. So, and like country your birth, Canada, where I don't know if you realize in certain parts of Canada, it's a public holiday for St. Patrick's Day today.
Oh, wow.
And there's lots of countries, like there's even in countries like Japan and China and South America.
It's worldwide.
It's totally worldwide. And it's because, look, we're a fun nation, but we're a serious nation as well in lots of ways, but we really include people in for the day. So even if you do have one of those four-leaf clovers, it's not the end of the world.
It's not taboo. It's
not taboo. At all. Just party on and have a good time, and that's the thing. What goes on tour stays on tour.
Right. And I think that it's kind of like to me, St. Patrick's Day it relates to spring. It's that spring festival. Easter's a religious holiday. Easter's for kids. But I always felt St. Patrick's Day was like everybody can celebrate it, because we all want to be, with the birth of the spring coming, and it's fun and it's jovial. And to me, it's a very, very inclusive holiday. And I love it. There's just something wonderful about it. And you're right. It's so funny because when in the United States, growing up in the United States, I grew up in Canada, but being in the United States and Canada, people will always tell you about how they're related to somebody from Ireland. On St. Patrick's Day, they'll like, well, actually, my great grandfather knew somebody, and it's like, we really think he was our, cousin, and yada, yada, yada. And I think that's kind of nice, because if you think about it, aren't we all kind of related? Like it's like we're human beings. So we're all kind of related, and I don't know. It's fun. It's a fun holiday. Great. I love it.
Well, actually, another thing as well, like we send out all our politicians to all parts of the world to meet people, and we get, for example, our prime minister, what we call our Taoiseach, it goes over to Washington DC and meets the US president. And for a little small country like we have, to get an audience every year on the day, and we bring over some, because actually there is Shamrock. It is actually a plant, and we kind of send it around the place.
That's cool.
So it's good. It's we're spreading the love, and getting the word out there that Ireland's a great place to know people from here, to do business with, to visit on holidays. Like we love having visitors from everywhere. I mean, and actually Ireland now in the last kind of 20 years Dublin definitely has become very cosmopolitan, because we've got nationalities from everywhere. It's been driven by all the big tech companies like Microsoft, Google, LinkedIn, all have their European, Middle East and Asia headquarters here in Dublin, so we've got people from everywhere. It's a great place. So
it's a happening place. It's on my list. So as soon as this thing is done, it's like, okay, I'm coming. I'm coming. So you're gonna take me out for a Guinness, promise?
Absolutely, it'd be more than one. I think we'll have to host an event here, so we will.
And I'm a big Steve Bono fan. So you'll have to take
Yeah.
me past his house so I can peep over the fence and look at him and wave.
Hello.
Oh, I see we have a few more comments, so let me go and grab those. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Oh, they move. Okay. Being good, drink later when I get to Chicago. So no drinking and driving, especially in the middle of the day. It's just unheard
Yeah,
of.
it's probably not a good look, Janet. Don't do it.
Is there
Yes,
really a
yes,
pot of
there
the
is.
goat?
Get to that rainbow, and there's a pot of gold.
I love it. I love it. Okay. Oh, look, it's our buddy Craig. Okay.
Woohoo, Grego!
You guys rock. Two of our favorite dudes on. I'm a dudette. I'm a dudette. I love it. I love it. Oh, we love Craig. Okay. Nope. It is 3. It is 3. I don't understand that.
I don't
Okay.
know.
Oh, 3. Oh, meaning two of his favorite dudes on LinkedIn. 3 meaning.
Oh,
Got it. Oh, Michelle Wolf.
hey,
Okay.
Michelle from South Africa. Woo!
As Craig loves to call her, his Wolfie, his Wolfette. He has all these cute names for her. I just love her. She is just adorable. Just adorable. I love her. She is
Oh
so
man,
nice.
this is
She
great.
is so nice. Craig,
Thanks,
that's a
Grego.
great. Oh, that's a good one. That's a great hashtag. I like that. That's a good one.
This
That's a
is
good
for
one.
you, Grego.
Okay.
Woo!
Steve-O's mask looked like it's made by Hannibal Lecter. It's Silence of the Lambs. No, it's Silence of the Irish. It's Silence.
Gladys. I'm gonna have a nice Chianti now, Craigo.
You remind me of the little Lucky Charms guy. And do you actually eat that cereal in Ireland, the Lucky Charms cereal? Because that's a big thing in America. Do you have
We
that?
don't have it. We don't have it.
Don't have it. You can, we'll keep it. We'll keep it. Okay. Oh,
I
have you
have,
ever?
Jeff. I actually have. Genuinely, I did it once about 10 years ago, and yeah, I did. And it's kind of scary. I don't. You have to lean back, and if you fall, like you're dead, basically.
Wow.
So, and you know, but it's yeah. I've done it. Been there.
Awesome. We need a whole episode on the Blarney Stone because that's something I have to go back and Google. I don't know much about that. Where is that actually located? Where in Ireland?
It's in County Cork, which is in the southwest of the country, and
Okay.
it's in a kind of a castle. So it's up a set of old fashioned steps, and then you have to kind of lay down. You're exposing your face out over quite a big height, and then you got to kiss the Blarney Stone.
Oh wow,
It
that's awesome.
Brings you
That
luck.
that needs to go on your CV. Like professional talents. I kiss the Blarney Stone and I live to tell the tale. Okay, we got another comment from Adam. We're preparing shepherd's pie. We did that one. Okay, somehow these are getting out of order. Okay, which way are they coming? Okay. Maybe I think I got them all. For some reason, they are not in order. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. If you ever get to Dublin, go to EPIC, the Irish Immigration Museum, where you'll see the diaspora of the Irish all over the world. Oh, wow. That would really be interesting.
Yeah.
You would think that they would have like a sister museum like that in like New York or something, because I think that's like, that was kind of like the port that all the immigrants came through with Ellis Island and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to know on the they should be like kind of working together, because you would just think that. But anyways, of course, it's immigration all over the world, not to America. So that makes sense. That makes sense. Thanks, Adam, for saying
Adam's
that.
been to Ireland. Adam's been to Ireland.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, he's. I think he actually's been here on a number of occasions, and he was here last year. So next time Adam's back along with everyone else, it'll be party central.
Absolutely. Okay, so another one from Greg. Colcannon is usually potatoes, cabbage, and swede. What's swede? What's swede? I don't even know what that is. What is swede?
I think I'm not sure, so I'm just going to say it's a person from Sweden.
Okay. We know people from Sweden. We don't want them in our stew. Okay, and then Mike Wesley, he's a friend of ours. Learning about St. Pat's Day is great. I am learning a lot, and you guys are so much fun. Thank you for sharing this. Yay!
Mike, yay from Ireland. Hello, Mike. Mike Wesley in the house.
So that was great. So I think we've pretty much covered all of it. So should we, this is probably a good point. Do you have any parting words of wisdom, oh leprechaun one?
Oh, leprechaun.
Can you give us an Irish blessing or some wisdom, the luck of the Irish that we can go about our day tomorrow?
The look of the Irish, just be kind to your fellow human being and have a good time and, you know, live a good and healthy life. And if you ever see an Irish person in a bar, buy him a drink.
I love it. I love it. Okay, great. Well, we'll sign off here and we're going to get Stephen back on another episode to talk real stuff about social selling and digital marketing and his company and all the great stuff that he does on LinkedIn. But he was the sport. He just came on today to talk about something fun because we needed it. So now everybody who watches this is prepared for an awesome St. Patrick's Day, and they can take bar bets now because they know all the
Absolutely. And enjoy yourself. Have a good time. Have a really good time. That's what life's about. Enjoy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, well, thanks, and we'll sign off here. Bye.
Bye-bye. See you guys.